All right, clap it up. Clap it up. We live. This is the Israelite School of UPK, so our Land West on the 25th Street, all in New York. We are under command of Jayana. We've been teaching this truth since 1969 that the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are in fact the true biblical Jews, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
This is the One West News Desk in Cap Saparia with
Officer Montgomery.
Officer Montgomery in the building. And what we basically do is we bringing out local, national, and international news to keep you up to date, other than the garbage that's on your timeline today. So we're going to get into some of these articles that's impacting us here locally, nationally, and internationally.
Right.
So let's get with the first article, with the first story here. Whatever you got.
All right, I want to deal with the senator right here. Let's go. This is the reason why the Most High tells us not to vote, because it's nothing but crooked people over top of us right now. The scriptures say what? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in the rulership, the people mourn. We in mourning right now, and we're in mourning right because of this right here, stuff like this right here. It says Democratic state senator accused of secretly filming two critics in bed together to try to silence them. You understand? And that's one of the main staples of our oppressor. This is what our oppressor does. You understand? To keep rulership and to keep a grip over control over everything that they do. Check this out. It says a Democrat state senator from Maryland is accused of orchestrating a scheme to secretly record two critics, including a former campaign consultant, in bed together, and then using the footage to threaten them and silence them, according to a newly unsealed federal indictment. Now, this person is still a state senator. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the reason why we always say, see, we can't do, you understand, what our oppressor does. You understand? Our oppressor does not live by the same rules that we do. All the laws that are created, especially here in America, all the laws that are created for us, not the oppressor. The oppressor gets to break those laws. But I'm gonna get back into this article. It says federal prosecutors say a Maryland state senator, how you say this? Dahlia Attar, her brother Joseph Yossi Attar, and a Baltimore police officer, Coleman Finkelstein. And I said those names like that for a reason. These are not only just the oppressor, but these are Amalek. Exactly. So-called Jewish. You understand? Not only is a state prosecutor, a police officer, you understand, these they got it all. They got it sewed up from all types of directions. Anyway, secretly filmed the pair during an intimate encounter, then used the recording to intimidate them into silence. The 20-page indictment, unsealed Thursday, charges the trio with conspiracy, extortion, illegal wiretapping, and violations of the Travel Act. Prosecutors allege the group targeted the consultant, identified as Victim 1, who had worked for Attar's 2018 campaign and later supported her political rival. So the reason why she targeted him after she finished with her campaign, she decided to switch over and help out the political rival. You understand? And this is something that our oppressor can't take. Can't take you switching and jumping ship. You either stay crooked or you can't be in the game at all. Consultant, let me see, and later supported her political rival. Victim 2 was in a romantic relationship with Victim 1 and was married to another person at the time, the document says. According to the indictment, the defendant placed hidden cameras disguised as smoke detectors and a tracking device in the victim's apartment, later reviewing footage that showed the pair in bed together. Prosecutors say the recording was then used to threaten exposure if either victim spoke publicly against the tar or supported her opponent. So they using this so that now evidently this person was a high profile, what they call it when a person runs your campaign. You know what I'm talking about, right? When people come out and get you to be over top of their campaign, to run their campaign.
I forget what it's called.
I forgot what it's called, but evidently this person is a high profile campaign runner. I'm gonna just say that for right now. A high profile campaign runner because they went through a lot to put hidden cameras, you understand, in a person's apartment, using tracking devices and everything like that. You understand? To control this person so that they could stay, in political control. It says prosecutors say the recordings was used to threaten exposure if the victims spoke publicly against Attar or supported her opponents. By early 2021, Attar allegedly discussed how to stop potential criticism, saying in a WhatsApp message, "We have a very easy, simple way to get her to just shut up and leave us alone. She's worried about her kids. Should duke them." I'm guessing that's a code word. She allegedly added, "I'm not saying we leaked this anywhere or ever do that, but I'm saying we warn her. If you go ahead and screw with me, we're going to leak it."
Listen, they messy with it. Man.
Listen,
they don't even follow their own rules, and they going through all this political theatrics. But behind the scene, they messy like this. It's like something out of a goddamn movie.
And another thing is too, you can see slowly but surely this kingdom is falling apart. If you think about it, right, 20 or 30 years ago, we would never have known about any of this. 20 or 30 years ago, the kingdom is falling apart, and they just a lot of times they not even caring what they do. I mean, even think about how Trump is running the country, what he's doing in Venezuela, all of the things that he's already done, changing laws and everything like that, things that we never thought could happen. He's showing you that it can happen. And like we said before, our oppressor does not live by the same rules and laws that we do. You understand? But it says, in December 2021, Joseph Attar allegedly met with one of the victims at a Baltimore shopping center and warned, "I have hours of footage of you in bed with victim 1." Now, they say a Baltimore shopping center, the only Baltimore shopping center I can really think of, House and Town Center, because that's right on the cusp, right?
It could be.
That's right on the cusp. I know they in Mondawmin.
Sure.
I know they in Mondawmin. But anyway, this is they coming to meet right here in Baltimore.
Could be the plaza. That's on the county line.
Oh yeah, damn, yeah.
Patterson's is the county line.
County line, right.
And you got Jewtown right there.
Oh damn, yeah. You know what? It could be right there.
Could be Pikesdale.
Yeah, that's it. That's because that's their spot, especially right there in cross country, back there in the back, right where they own everything back there. So
who knows? The report's gonna come out. We'll see how it goes.
They got political standing right there. Yeah, well, anyway, let's go. It says, "I have hours of footage of you in bed with victim 1. Go to victim 1 and say, 'Leave Dahlia alone,' or I'll share this video with everyone." Listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
"Everyone you know, every rabbi in town,
Jeez.
Your kids, your wife, her daughters."
Dang.
Every rabbi in town. So this is a whole Jewish connection. So listen, it's really, this is infighting. This is infighting. This really truly shows us that this in-house, this is This truly shows us that this kingdom is falling apart, brick by brick.
That's all right.
That's her right there. Yeah, that's her right there. That's Amalek.
And listen, you probably have seen her in town. You think she all professional,
Right.
and upstanding, and got all these morals, and sitting up high in these positions. Meanwhile, they doing a bunch of goddamn. What's that network that be doing all them scandal movies?
Oh, that's you talk about
with the women that be watching Lifetime. Like they doing some goddamn Lifetime type of movie situation. They're completely theatrical, if you ask me.
Right. And if you think about it, right, this is exactly where they get all the dialogue and all of the to make all of those Lifetime movies. This is where they get it from.
Mm-hmm.
This is real life stuff happening,
this
right?
Is culture. You think we us liar? They think we unhinged, and they publicize and they make our business headlines or what have you.
Right.
But they in high government seats in the state of Maryland and throughout, and they're using their power and their seat to be messy like this.
Exactly.
To extort. Man, this is like out of a goddamn.
What they said, they got extortion and all of that other stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you understand? And that's crazy too, right? Because
culture, right?
If that had been one of us, a senator, a black senator,
just blown up.
Not only that,
hold up, Marilyn Mosby. That was national news,
right?
For months,
right?
And this I heard it one time on a radio show this week.
Right.
I didn't see it on TikTok. I didn't see it on social media. They didn't sweep this under the rug because she got that misread.
I was about to say, because they got control of TikTok now. So they control the propaganda. Yeah, they control everything, because that's what Netanyahu was talking about 2 weeks ago. He said we got control of TikTok now. So all of the information that goes out on TikTok, you can't even trust that anymore. You understand what I'm saying?
Squeaky clean image,
right,
of the so-called Jewish. Let me put it back on the screen.
Yeah.
I want y'all to take a good look at this devil.
Yeah, I'm gonna read some more on this, right? While y'all looking at this picture. And I want to go back. It says, I'll share this video with everyone you know, every rabbi in town, your kids, your wife, her daughters.
Hey.
Prosecutors say the threats continue into 2022. It says, as the defendant allegedly worked to ensure both victims remain silent before Attar's re-election campaign. The indictment also says the three coordinated through encrypted WhatsApp messages, which they regularly deleted to avoid detection. Listen, I believe they got that too.
God.
The WhatsApp, that's theirs. That belongs to them.
I think, yeah. Is Zuckerberg on that?
I don't know.
Owned by Meta? I'm not sure.
But one thing I do know is they don't, if they don't regulate it or they don't run it, they not on it.
Come.
And I'm not talking about the regular everyday Jewish man you see walking the street. I'm talking about the high profile, the real power in the kingdom. Those are the ones you're not going to see them on Facebook and posting a whole lot of stuff on Facebook. But these are the apps that they control, that they can think about this, right? Anything that you put on any kind of app, even if you delete it, it goes off into space and it's always there. They can always pull it and bring it back. You understand what I'm saying? But these apps that they have and that they control, they can get rid of anything on there and you'll never know. You understand? So this is the reason why they have to control social media. They have to control the radio waves. They have to control the access channels, the internet, the social media, and all of that. This is the reason why they control that. That's the prayer that we do on the Sabbath service anyway. You understand? So listen. It says the charges carried. Let me go back a little bit. It says the indictment also says the three coordinated through encrypted messages on WhatsApp messages, which they regularly deleted to avoid detection. The charges carried potential penalties of several decades in prison. The Attorney's office did not respond to the Fox News digital request for comment. Richard Worley told Fox 45 that Finkelstein has been on administrative duty since 2022 and no longer holds police powers. You understand? And the whole point is they was not arrested yet. Think about this, right? They pulling stuff from 2021 and 2022, showing what they was doing. They should have already been indicted on that alone. Especially with when you wiretap, that's illegal. Wiretapping is illegal if you don't get a warrant through the city and the state. That's illegal. They should have been indicted on that alone. And then when you start placing cameras around people's houses, that's another
It's another charge.
that's another charge.
You
can't put no cameras in somebody else's house and monitor them. Not only that, they was using tracking devices.
All this with the help of a police.
With the help of a police. Never said that. Listen, they didn't even say they arrested this police because he should be arrested already. Because everything right there, them 3 charges right there, everybody should have went down already. But we in their kingdom, and this is why we say we can be in their kingdom, but we can't be of their kingdom. And we believe so much in America's justice system, and this is who's controlling and who's running America's justice system. You understand? He says a Democrat and former Baltimore prosecutor. Think about this: a former Baltimore prosecutor. So how? In January 2025. She just got there.
Come on. Hold on. But she couldn't wait to be wicked. It's in their culture. They get in these high seats. They do, and they seem high and mighty and everything like that. But behind the scene, this is their culture.
Listen.
This is their way of life right here. You understand?
This is the part. This is in their DNA to do exactly what they're doing. This is why Most High tells us to separate from them. Shouldn't be amongst them. Now we can be in this kingdom, but we don't have to be of the kingdom. We say that all the time. You understand? And this is the reason why we destroyed in the way we are, because we believe. You understand?
Trying to get the camera right. They can hear us though.
Okay. But listen, it says she has been considered a rising figure in Maryland's Orthodox Jewish community, which what Kat just said, that the biggest part of their community in Baltimore is right there in Pikesville, cross country, and everything from Northern Parkway, Ricestown Northern Parkway, all the way to your right, all the way over, all the way out to Owings Mills, all the way out to Owings Mills. Everything to your right-hand side of Ricestown, as soon as you cross Northern Parkway to your right-hand side, that's all they got. That owns 800 dilapidated housing properties in Baltimore.
I seen
You understand what I'm saying? And if you go across that county line and you go out there across Northern Parkway into cross country and you see how they living, and then you see what they push on us. You understand? If I'm not mistaken, this is what they said that the Germans did to them in Germany. You understand? Put them in conditions like this. But I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna say that. But the same thing that happened to them, they turn it around and doing to us. You understand? This is just in their nature to do exactly what they're doing. You understand? It's nothing. This is nothing new. You understand? I bought that article for a reason. I got another article that I want to bring out too. If you want to, you got something else you want to bring out?
No, you got it. You can bring that out.
Yeah, I want to bring this article out right here.
What's wrong?
The one with the let me make sure I get it right. The Israeli child.
I didn't get that, but you can bring it out.
I did. I thought I sent you that one. That was the main one right there. All right, I'm gonna send it to you now. I can send it to you now.
That's the one.
Okay.
Go pull it up. We're gonna get some more news, y'all.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna get some more news. Hey, listen, I got this article. Bring out this article. Let me hit you with this real quick, Cat. I want you to check this out.
And we're gonna also cover what's going on in this Venezuela's conflict is really heating up. And recently Donald Trump, he did we're gonna get
Do you want to get into that first? Or
no, live.
Okay.
We'll get into it towards the end, but
Okay.
it's important.
Again, right? Certain things happen in this society, and certain people get away with certain things that we know. If it be us, so-called Black Hispanics and natives, immediately you detain, and there is no releasing or anything like that. There is no slip-ups or anything like that. But I want to get into this article right here, because this is a crazy article, and the thing about it is, it was no big to do about it. It was just a little small article that was mentioned, and then that was it. I don't even know if this was in the papers or not.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna read this one. It says how an Israeli child sex predator was able to bail out of Nevada jail without breaking the law.
You want Algiers or you want
The Nevada Independent. I sent it to you.
I got you.
Okay. Says local criminal justice advocates and lawyers say Alexandrovich case shows a flaw in Nevada's bail system, allowing people to skirt around the legal system. Now, when they say that, they're not talking about the Nevada jail system. The bail system has any flaws in it. It has flaws in it for certain people because Nevada locks everybody up. You understand? You don't get away with anything from Nevada unless you get fined, you pay a bail or a fine or anything like that. But this person skirted around it. It says on Friday morning, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department announced in a press release that it had arrested 8 child sex predators as a part of a multi-agency undercover operation over the last 2 weeks. But the arrest of 38-year-old Tom Atorium Alexandrovich, a senior official for Israel's National Cyber Directorate, quickly overshadowed the news, especially after news outlets reported that he had returned to Israel last week.
You see that trend of it though?
Yeah, listen,
It seems like these so-called Jewish people just get swept under the rug. They keep their squeaky clean image.
but this is the thing, right? They said how Nevada's bail system keeps slipping up and letting people keep getting away. But notice the other people didn't get away. Just this one got away. You understand what I'm saying? And it's a reason, because when you run the system, you fall through the cracks.
Also, true. Also, that I want to point out one thing in this article.
Go ahead.
Which is might get overlooked even in itself. Is directly pointing out mass media.
Right.
It says quickly overshadowed the news. Meaning even in this very article, it's pointing out what the lack of coverage.
Right. And that's what we was talking about. Because this is why I said this was just a small article that it didn't even make the news, which it should have made the news. You understand? Especially when it comes to children. The most precious thing that we have is our children. You understand? And they violate in every way.
This is like local. This is the Nevada Independent.
Right.
This ain't Fox News. This ain't
Nope.
NBC. Go ahead, you got it.
It says questions over how an alleged child sex predator could so quickly leave the country has swirled in the days since, leading to a rampant online rumor and official denial by the U.S. State Department of interfering in the case, and a war of words between top government officials, including acting U.S. Attorney for Nevada, Sigal Qatar, who cast blame on a liberal district attorney and state court judge in a post on X. Listen, they have connections between the prosecuting attorneys, the judges, the district attorney, and all of that. This is the reason why all they got to do is make a phone call and they get off. That's it. They get to do what they want. And then the thing about it is he's back in Israel. Now, everybody knows that I want to say it again. We did an article maybe a couple of months ago about what they do over there in Israel. Israel is the #1 country for the LGBTQ and child pedophilia. You understand? We did an article, we did a class about that a couple of months ago. This is nothing new. This is something that he brought from his country and figured he'd probably come over here and do. You understand? It says Clark County District Attorney Steve Wilson, who is responsible for prosecuting the case against Alexandrovich, told the Nevada Independent that the handling of this case was extremely typical when it comes to allowing the release of a person charged with a crime before trial. Courts in Nevada are required to impose the least restrictive means necessary to protect the safety of the community and ensure a person appears in court. But when you have connections, and then thing about it is, I want to go back and I want to see this Steve Wilson, right? Steve Wilson, that's another one. That's an Amalek too. So the people on both sides of the aisle, when you have your people on both sides of the aisle, that's how you can get detained and get released and be back in Israel in less than a week.
This is what they do. There's many articles and many stories of these goddamn scumbags in that community that commit these that are sexual predators, and they somehow find a loophole, I guess because of their dual citizenship or what have you.
Right.
And they literally flee and stay in the state of Israel.
Right.
That's what they do.
Right. So they got that dual citizenship. They also talking about getting rid of that dual citizenship too. You know, that's a heavy topic coming up amongst our oppressor because of what Amalek does. They trying to cut that dual citizenship. So you either here or you there. You understand?
I'm telling you, this international turmoil between the Israelis and Hamas and Hezbollah,
right,
has sparked a divide, not only on the left and the right, but within each party itself. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of conservatives pushing back on Israelis. You got Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens,
right.
A lot of these right-wing conservatives. It's like, hey, these goddamn Israelis is a foreign country, and then people up in higher ranking in that on that side is still backing the Israel. Like it's a mess.
So yeah, it's a mess. And I want to say too, they was talking about Charlie Kirk had also started to turn his back on them too, after they had supported him all the way through his young career.
Those reports are coming out right now. Yeah. He was, and towards the end, he was like, damn near coming in. And that was rumors that it's Israeli involvement in this death.
Listen,
I'm saying rumors on purpose, allegedly.
Well, it's been a lot of alleged, and it's actually been coming out for a few weeks now. And you got a lot of people, especially not Scott Ritter, but it's Larry Wilkinson talking about that too. It's a lot of them talking about that, and I wouldn't be surprised. You understand? Because think about this: when the thing happened, the first thing that Netanyahu came out and said, he never said, my condolences or anything. The first thing came out of his mouth was, "Oh, we had nothing to do with it." You understand? Oh, he was my friend.
Right.
When Charlie Kirk had already talked against him. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just a little sidebar right there. That's just a little something for you to think about. But their whole kingdom is in turmoil right now. You understand? And this is a whole lot of infight. The only thing we should be doing right now, and I remember Captain Zaryan said this as soon as January 6th hit, right? We should be sitting back, eating our popcorn, just watching the festivities. You understand? We need to watch them destroy themselves. That's all we got to do. The Most High is going to handle all of this, and he's doing what he said he was going to do. They caving in on themselves. Listen, a house divided against itself cannot stand. And we're watching the house fall apart right now. It says now, getting back to this article, it says except under special circumstances, courts allow standard bail for people charged with a crime before they are brought before a judge or criminal charges, meaning the amount of money required to leave detention is preset by the court and requires no additional release conditions. But the only reason why you can't get released on child predator charges. Nobody gets released on child predator charges. We're talking about small charges like maybe when marijuana was illegal at the time, you got released on that, and that was if you had no other charges. But serious charges like this, you don't get no bail on that. You don't get no bail on that. You understand? I had a buddy. He got accusations put against him, and this wasn't with a child, but this is with a female. He had accusations which wasn't true, but they detained him for months. He lost his job, his house, and everything. And then it came out that he didn't do it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the terrible thing about it, because this is the situation. This is what they do to us. You understand? But with them, oh, let him go. He got to go to work tomorrow. You understand? That's what they do. So several other people caught in the sting along with Alexandrov, including a local pastor, were also released on bail, while others remain in detention. So all of these people have a connection. A pastor, but I guarantee you he was a pastor with connections to it, 100%. You understand? Now, 9 times out of 10, he probably still live in the States or something like that. So they're gonna rearrest him anyway. You understand? Or he gonna come back to trial. All right. It says several other people will while legal experts echo Wilson's assessment that the case follows standard procedure. And I told you. See, he's saying that the case follows standard procedure. Standard procedure with a child predator, he does not get bail. You do not get. That's almost like a murder. Okay. You don't get released on that. You understand? You don't get let go on that. And this dude, just like I said,
this another one. It's evident they just let him go.
They let him go.
It's evident. But they all this
political heat. All of this political heat. They telling him this is just what they do. They say, look, we'll take the heat. We already in position to control the narrative. You go back to where you come from, and we're gonna handle the situation. That's what they did.
Right. Outside of all the technical terms as far as procedures go and hit this here and that here, and
right,
they allowed this man to get out of jail and flee. That's it. You know what I'm saying? A dot didn't get dotted, something didn't get crossed out, or skipping the procedure, whatever it may be. They allowed this man, a sexual predator, flee the states.
We released the wrong person.
Right.
We thought we had we released the wrong person. You know how they do.
And then right here it says many contend that it highlights fundamental flaws in the state's bail system. Meaning they're blaming it on some type of technical flaw rather than technical flaw within the system of let people out, rather than them admitting they just was on this dude's side. Let him out, let him free.
What's in Nevada? What's in Nevada?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Yeah.
What did they do in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
What did they say about Las Vegas? What happens in
Okay, I see what you mean.
You understand what I'm saying? This is not this
There'll be some other connect. He probably connected to a whole bunch.
but not only that, this is not a fundamental flaw.
That's coming up.
Right. Listen, this is not a fundamental flaw. This is the way things operate in Las Vegas. When you're a high profile person, you get to do what you want to do. When things happen, oh, it's a fundamental flaw. Oh, we thought you understand?
Yeah, we thought we had
What
everything covered.
happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas.
And listen, not only that, it's they protect their own.
Yeah, they protect their own.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be Nevada, California, or
Yeah,
New York,
but it's
their whole entire system is going to back their own people. Donald Trump is a felon.
right.
And he is a 38-time felon. He's the president of the United States. They're going to protect their own. He's been bailing out these horrible people. Horrible people, man. We got to get some more on this article here. I don't want to spend too much time because we got to get to the class.
Okay.
But it's important in the next joint, which you mentioned is coming up. Rob Lanford.
Oh, yeah, Rob Lanford, a longtime private defense attorney and civil rights lawyer based in Las Vegas, called the case the perfect example to highlight inequities in the state's bail system.
See, we got flaws. We make mistakes.
Right.
You're responsible of housing violent criminals. And now, see, this is a perfect example. It's just the perfect time. This particular high,
Right.
profile person slips through the crack of your what's the word to use? Inequities.
Yeah,
And it highlight inequities in the state's bail system.
And it says, listen to this next line is crazy though, right? It says, anybody can do what this guy did. Anybody who has enough money. Like previously ran for district attorney against Wolfson, told the Indies, see, listen, Langford ran against Wolfson. Of course, Wolfson was going to win because Wolfson has the connections. He has the right people. He's Amalek. You understand? Listen, Wolfson used to be a heavy name. When we was young, we always knew it was either Goldberg, Goldstein, Silverstein. You understand? Wolfson and all of these names like that, those names stood out, and we knew that, oh, that's Amalek. That's a so-called Jewish man. You understand? So their names ring bells. You understand what I'm saying? So if the right name comes up, that's who gets the position. That's who gets released. That's who has the power. You understand? And we looking at it right here. After posting bail, the day after he was charged, Alexandrovich returned to Israel the next day. The next day. That does not happen to so-called Black Hispanic communities. It happens to Amalek and the oppressor because they have a network, they have a connection, they have family, they control the system. You understand? And this is the reason why we have to follow these laws that the Most High gave us, because this is what keeps us out of the picture, out of the spotlight, the negative spotlight, because that spotlight is a spotlight they would like to keep on us. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the reason why nobody heard about this. This is the reason why this was like a little tiny small article posted in the corner of a magazine. You understand?
Let's get some more.
You want to go some more on this, or you want to check?
Let's drop that because we're running out of time.
Okay.
I want to get on Venezuela. It's really heating up. Donald Trump just spoke on it.
Okay.
Not too long ago. Let's find an article.
Is that the one I gave you? The one I sent you?
I'm not sure, but I got one here on PBS News.
Okay, I got the news.
Is that a particular article you want to, Brian?
I got the one on Russia warns U.S. over military buildup. See, they about to back Venezuela.
When that come out?
This came out yesterday.
Let me get that. It says Russia what?
Russia warns U.S. over military buildup against Venezuela, because yesterday was the third, right? Yesterday was the third.
Today's the third.
Oh, this shit came out. Oh, slime. My bad, slime. But yeah, this came out today. Back when I read this yesterday.
It probably got updated today. Sometimes they do that.
Okay.
Are we on Newsweek or what?
Newsweek.
Newsweek.
Yep. This is heavy right here. And this article right here shows you that this thing with America, Venezuela, and Russia, this thing really heating up. Listen, America's about to get dragged into a place of no return.
And listen, when Trump won, right?
Right.
I thought this was going to prolong the war, his relationship with Russia, Korea. He going to slow this war thing down. Man, he didn't escalate it. Every corner of the earth has been, heightened urgency as far as World War III is concerned. China, Japan, Taiwan, North Korea, everybody is on their ends, especially with that with that convoy that was going into the Gaza Strip. Spain was backing it. Another country was backing. I mean, we talking about international powerhouses are being drug into this international turmoil with the Israelis, with America, and he just keep poking at, and trying in every corner of the earth. It's just it's just like you mentioned earlier, Captain Desire said. I'm sitting back and I'm like, this cat is going off every day. And then you got the national turmoil. I mean, the own people. He won't even give it down about his own people.
Right. Listen, Salakia, if I may, sir, it's the reason why a lot of this is happening. Remember, Trump came in. When he came in, he campaigned on stopping the war, which is the first thing he tried to do when he came in. But again,
he said no more.
No more wars. Again, when you have Amalek, who is a part of a lot of the defense industries in America, Amalek gets a lot of their money from these defense industries. If there are no more wars, then they get no more money. Remember, the first thing happened was the gunshot with Trump, the ear nick. You understand? He threw the fist up, bam. That's what got him in. You understand what I'm saying? After the second time, when the dude was caught with the gun on the side of the golf course, he began to start thinking. And then when this thing happened with the stand in the tree, now he's all about war. Why? Because he understands that. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. We're not pushing the conspiracy theory thing, but JFK did the same thing. You understand? Against certain things. Remember the Bay of Pigs happened. Remember all of those dudes got wiped out trying to get up in there into Cuba. And then all of a sudden the thing happened with JFK. Sometimes all you got to do is tap somebody on the shoulder and they get the picture. Well, now.
If I could, then the mustache man, Hitler was doing a lot of the same thing Trump is doing right now.
Right.
Hold up. Matter of fact, I was online earlier. They was comparing the two because not only the things that he's doing, but he built a theater also, famously, right then before everything broke up. Right. And what is Donald Trump working on right now?
Yeah, he's working on that ballroom.
I don't know. I just thought that was I just thought it was interesting. That's all. I ain't into
what's the saying? History tends to repeat itself.
But I'm gonna tell you this. So this history was written, and World War III is here.
It's here.
Like it's such a sight to see. Like, it's like it's damn near boiling over at this point. The turmoil, the wars. It's like, and then every week or so, every week I hear a rumor of a nuke here.
Right.
Nuclear testing. And then, or a nuclear submarine in the Black Sea, or we got submarines getting closer to Russia.
Right.
Some type of China just released their video of their new fighter. It's like week after week.
Well, think about this, right?
You know what I mean?
Nothing happens overnight. I think they said what it takes 3 years to build a battleship. 3 years to build a battleship. Takes about a year and a half, almost 2 years to build a fighter jet, right? Right now, what we're looking at is all of these nations building up their war arsenal. You understand? They're building up their military forces. The difference is in this what's happening right now is the Europeans are the weakest link. All of these other nations, China, Russia, Japan, not Japan because Japan happened.
Also, I gotta look at that biblically though. I gotta look at it biblically, right? Because with the 7 horns and I gotta look at that biblically. They are powerhouses.
Yeah.
They're all powerhouses, especially with their allies and everything like that.
Well, see, that's why they all got to link back up and they got to come back together. This is the reason why the European Union and a lot of those nations in the European Union really didn't get along. But now that this thing is happening right here, they have to build an alliance and they have to come back together. You understand? And that's what they're doing right now. And they're propping themselves up like they have a real military force. But their military force isn't what it used to be. Everybody's living off the image. And just like they say, when you, the shadow, when you live off the shadow of a nation, a lot of times that shadow can begin to deceive you.
All right, let's look. He said somebody better be able to go in a second. So we should have turned it around. You want me to turn it on? If you want to. But what else in the film is bringing out is so absolutely dynamic and heavy because the internet, like America damn near asked for it. Like since early 2000, they was poking the bear with Russia, sending in, doing those joint forces with NATO and Ukraine. That's what a lot of people don't understand and recognize and understand. That's what really led to the war in Ukraine. It was America's, instigating Ukraine with NATO and doing the joint forces and everything. I'm talking about 2010, like a minute ago.
They had the problem.
Like all of these things has been adding up to this boiling point here. I think somebody's knocking on the door. Let's check that out. Everybody just everything's been adding up to this boiling point of absolute international turmoil, and it's like there's no turning back now. What the Israelis have done was Hezbollah and Hamas, and along with other international powers, there's no turning back at this point. You understand? But we're gonna get this article before we close, though.
Listen. World War III. Listen. What America did was America used Ukraine as a proxy.
There you go.
You understand? And in using Ukraine as a proxy, instead of America fighting Russia itself, it uses another country to try to wear, Russia down, try to wear down their defenses, try to wear down their war chest. You understand what I'm saying?
I put it to them like this one real quick. Just like how you hear the propaganda with Hezbollah and Hamas, they keep saying what? This is Iran. This is Iran. It's
right.
Like painting this picture, and it could be true. It could be all right. It might be all right. But the same thing going on with America.
Right.
They instigated that fight with Russia. 100%.
Now, I'm gonna make a correlation I'm gonna connect some dots. Okay. I'm gonna connect some dots real quick, right? In World War I started in 1914, ended in 1918. America didn't get into World War I until 1917. By the time the end of World War I came, all of the nations was destroyed. America was the only nation that really was untouched after World War I. You understand? So America was almost the hegemon after World War I. It was still a couple of other powers that was still in there. So America created the League of Nations, and creating the League of Nations because the nation said, whenever we go to war with anybody, it has to be a unanimous decision. America said, we don't want a part of that. They wanted to actually run the whole thing, but other nations didn't let America do that. Fast forward to World War II, started in 1939, ended in 1945. America got into World War I in 1941. In 1941, the whole world was fighting against each other except for America. America was fighting Japan and only Japan. Even though Germany and Italy had declared war on America, America was only fighting Japan. At the end of World War II, America stood as the hegemon. America waited for everybody else to be destroyed, all of the powers to be destroyed after the Soviet Union, which is now Russia. After they were destroyed and everybody was weakened, America stood as the hegemon. America then changed the League of Nations into the United Nations. America gave itself sole power. And this is the reason why America can sanction any nation, but any nation cannot sanction America. Fast forward to the day, America stepped out. They started the war with Russia, and then they pushed Ukraine to the front. They said they were back in Ukraine, and then what did they do? They stepped back and pushed the European Union. America's doing what America does. America pushes everybody to the forefront, let everybody destroy each other so that America can once again become the hegemon. But I think the Most High has something different for America this time around. But America's playing the same card. America playing the same card that it always plays. It lets all of the nations destroy each other, and then they become the hegemon. They become the world dominant leader, which is what they think they're going to do this time. But just like you said, Cap, Most High got something different playing. But America's playing the same card that they always play. They get everybody else to fight each other, get weakened, and then step in, and then they become the controlling power of the earth. So that's the whole power. But with this time around with America, America's not the America that was after 1945. America is not that power that they were in 1990. This is not the same America. America is...
If I could, regardless of that, it's been written that ain't nobody winning this war.
Yeah, nobody.
Ain't nobody winning this war. You can have a seat right on this side. All right? You have a seat. Hey, but ain't nobody winning this war. But the Lord is winning this war.
You can come over a little bit closer.
Yes.
Right.
I want to get a little bit of this.
Yeah, just in case you got a question.
Before we close
Yep, right.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Before we close the podcast, I'm going to get a little bit of this story here. Russia has condemned the United. Oh, you want to read that?
I got you, Kevin. Russia has condemned the United States for what is described as use of excessive military force in the Caribbean under the pretext of combating drug trafficking.
Really, it's the same narrative that the Israelis used.
Right.
They claimed it was, we got to get
Hezbollah.
we got to get Hezbollah, we got to get Hamas, and they then leveled an entire country.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
The whole city.
They come up with this propaganda of why they want to go into a territory when they obviously have other pretenses of entering the area. First of all, they're going in there for the oil.
Right.
They're going in there for land. They're going in there for oil. They're going in there for resources. The so-called oppressor is the bully of the earth.
Mm. It's a lot. Yeah.
They unalive, pollute, and extort.
Right.
And then they paint it as justice.
Right.
They paint it as I'm going after the criminal. Like they're blowing up speedboats, no evidence, no trial. It's 100% against so-called American values.
Right.
You understand? I know we over the time a little bit. I just want to get a little bit more of this article and just expound a little bit. Trump wants to do what the Israelis did to Gaza. They want to do the same thing to Venezuela. They're just building up.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, while also expressing support for Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. On Sunday, the Kremlin confirmed it is monitoring developments closely as tensions between Washington and the Caracas intensify over U.S. strikes and Venezuela's reported outreach to Moscow for military assistance.
Now, let's go down because I want you to still comment on that, but when we go back to it, I want you to go why it matters.
Okay,
I want to close on that, but you had a comment though?
Yeah, I had a comment, and just like you were saying, they use the pretense of something that's happening. It's the same thing that they did in Afghanistan when they went into Iraq for Saddam Hussein. They went in there stating that they had weapons of mass destruction. And all the way up until this day, they said they have never found a single weapon of mass destruction in Iraq. And they destroyed over 6 million people in Iraq.
And what Benjamin Netanyahu been saying for decades, Iran, they almost close. They almost got a nuclear weapon. He been spitting this
Since the 80s. They said he been saying that since the 80s. Listen, I was watching Reagan on TV when Reagan got shot, and he was saying it then. You understand what I'm saying? Our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. But I'm going to get back to this part right here. You said why it matters, right? Let's see where I'm at. I'm going to read it from over here. The escalating rhetoric between Moscow and Washington underscores growing geopolitical friction in Latin America, where Venezuela ties with Russia and China have deepened as the U.S. ramps up military operations in the region.
I'll start right there. You see why this is important? Time and time again, we come on this show, we talk about the international term.
Yep.
They didn't mention several countries right here. China, what is it?
China and Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And they all connected, you understand? And China, Russia, and Iran. And the thing about it is, what did America do several years back? Talking about the 7 nations they wanted to destroy in 5 years. Or the 7 nations they wanted to destroy in 5 years. Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Afghanistan, and it was 2 other nations. I can't really remember. Saudi Arabia, but you know Saudi Arabia is on their side now. That's the ally now, but it's controlled.
Saudi Arabia is going to get in a fight. Listen, Commander, I brought it up. Go ahead.
Germany?
No, that's one of their.
They're gonna get in the big. They're gonna get in the big fights.
Yeah, they're gonna get the big fight. But these are Middle East nations that America back in the early 2000s. In 2001, they said they wanted to destroy 7 nations in 5 years. It took a little longer, but this is a pattern that America has. You understand? And the whole reason why they were over in Afghanistan was for the poppy fields and the oil fields. That was it. They just needed a reason to go over in there. But
let's get some more. We're gonna close on this.
Okay. It said Washington's actions framed as anti-narcotics missions have drawn condemnation from Russia and concerns about potential new flashpoints reminiscent of the Cold War era alignments.
Ooh. We've been saying this since the 60s, 70s. They said, we said that this war gonna get kicked off again. This Cold War, the so-called allyship is gonna come to an end.
Right.
They was looking at us like it was crazy back then in the 70s.
Yeah, it's happening.
And it's happening right before our eyes, you understand? But
you gonna drop it there? Or that's heavy right there, but you go ahead and but we'll pick them up the next time. We'll pick them up next time. But
I'm good.
I'm good.
But we're gonna pick it up next week. This is the One West News Desk coming at you with the local, national, and international news on your timeline. You understand? I'm Captain Saparia.
I'm Officer Mathum.
We're gonna catch you next time. Here live in Israel for EPK. Shalom, Israel.
I'm sure.
send it. I didn't know you could do this while I was.
Yeah.
Now,
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone west. Everyone.